Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Jez Patel, we spoke about him at the start. A very interesting career he's had. 10 wickets in an innings against India. Went to New Zealand and didn't even make the squad. He's back out there now. He'll be loving this, getting the ball early.
Coming on the wicket to the right-handed Alderson Joy. Day, first session.
Yeah, a little bit of turn there. I think you're right. I mean, New Zealand will want turn because they've played a squad here where they're almost relying it on a bit of turn in the surface. They've got Daryl Mitchell who can offer a little bit of medium pace, but otherwise a lot of the donkey work will be done by Jamieson and Southey.
Overall happy with the side combination, going with 2 seamers and 3 spinners, of course. Santner missing out. Outside edge, that is running away. Will be recovered while Joy is back for a couple.
Yeah, good signs there for New Zealand. Outside edge, back foot as well, so good pace from Ajaz Patel early on. Well, you know, you ask about the squad, there's so many different ways you could go. Look at Rachin Ravindran, what he's done. He offers left arm spin. So if you were to play Rachin Ravindra, then do you play Ajaz Patel? I think what they've done is they've gone in with Glenn Phillips. They needed someone who could bowl off spin going away from the left-handers in this Bangladesh squad.
That's it laid, but straight to the field, and it's good fielding. Will end the over. Bangladesh 22 for no loss.
বিকাশে ফিরলেই 100 টাকা ক্যাশব্যাক। আপনি কি এপ্রিল 2023 এর পর বিকাশে কোনো লেনদেন করেননি? তাহলে এখনই ফিরে এসে মোবাইল রিচার্জ করুন। 100 টাকা পর্যন্ত ক্যাশব্যাক জিতুন।
ওকে দিন পেপসোডেন্ট, যা অদৃশ্য ছোট ছোট গর্তগুলো সারিয়ে তোলে, ক্যাভিটি থেকে দেয় সর্বাধিক সুরক্ষা, যাতে ও আত্মবিশ্বাসী হাসি নিয়ে বেড়ে উঠতে পারে।
Scenic location, the Sylhet International Cricket Stadium here in the city of Tea Gardens. Got a nice welcome, got an auto ride, we call it the CNG ride, right out of the airport. Hope you enjoyed it. Grant Elliott.
I did, Shamanoi. Our first little ride in the tuk-tuk in Sylhet together with our suitcases. Wonderful.
Oh, that's a peach of a delivery from Kyle Jamieson. I just have a feeling that he's finding the length, found his rhythm now.
Well, that looked like us going around the corner to our hotel in the tuk-tuk the other day. That moved quite considerably. Kyle Jamieson, he has a real knack of getting left-handers out. Ball going away, generally getting that outside edge to the third slip gully. He's obviously suffered a few injuries. Coming back now, looking strong at the crease. His weapon is the movement through the air to the left-handers, getting the ball to just leave that outside edge.
Referring back to the previous delivery, mentioned it was the tuk-tuk ride. Hope it wasn't that close. Delivery was much closer.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it wasn't as violent going around the corners away to the Grand Palace, but he's got the ability to move the ball away from the left-hander, but he's also the outswinger to the right-hander, or moving the ball into the left-hander is just, it's quite as subtle. It's not as much, doesn't move as much through the air. That was a weapon that he developed when he really burst onto the scene, Kyle Jamieson.
You see it. It's much fuller on this occasion though, right as you mentioned.
Yeah, that was the one that just came back into the left-hander. So He's really trying to work the batters out here. Sometimes as a bowler you can think, okay, well, for a couple of overs I'm just going to try and swing the ball away from them. The delivery that you want to get them out to is the one that comes back, which is what Jamison tried there, which was on the money. Well directed, started on the off stump and just shaped back to almost middle. Well negotiated there by Hassan.
Nicely driven.
So the last two balls have come in. This is the one. He starts it just on Midland leg. Leaves Hassan. I mean, that is a magnificent delivery. Sometimes you say that the good ones don't get the wickets. It was exceptional from Jamison. It's just into his fourth over. It'll be interesting to see how long Saudi keeps him going from. He might rotate the seamers from this end. Maybe give him 5 or 6 overs and then Saudi bring himself back on again.
Got one on this occasion. Yeah, Saudi just bowled the 3 overs. Quick to change up. Saudi, captain of the test side since December 2022. This is the second test match here at the Sylhet International Cricket Stadium, the previous one being played back in 2018 against Zimbabwe. Not a good memory for Bangladesh though. Delivery coming round the wicket. Baden again, 22 for no loss.
মাল্টিভিটামিন সিরাম যুক্ত এখন নতুন ও আরো উন্নত গ্লো এন্ড লাভলি। পাও 40% বেশি উজ্জ্বলতা। গ্লো এন্ড লাভলি,
সাশ্রয়ী দামে 2 গুণ উজ্জ্বলতা। রিন অ্যাডভান্সডের 2 কেজি প্যাকে এখন 40 টাকা ছাড়। এছাড়াও 550 গ্রাম প্যাকে বাঁচলো 9 টাকা এবং 1100 গ্রাম প্যাকে বাঁচলো 18 টাকা।
For 8 overs, Bangladesh are 22 for no loss, and we've already seen 3 bowlers being used by Tim Saudi, 2 seamers including himself and Ajaz Patel. Driven. A bit of confusion denied by Zakir Hassan from the other end, rightly so.
Yeah, the first over from Ajaz Patel, he probably drifted a little bit short here over pitching, so he hasn't quite found his length. He got the outside edge with Joy in the previous over. That was a good length, but he's just struggling. He hasn't settled on a length here. But this batter's doing well, not allowing him to.
Fumble, loves the single. Mentioned the length there is kept a short leg and a short cover there for Joy. He went back to the back foot and goes for that. I have a feeling trying to weave the base of the pitch also.
There you go, Ajaz Patel. We spoke earlier about his 10 for 119 against India. What an amazing moment that was for him. Bowlers in the world have achieved that feat. As I said, he came to the shores of New Zealand and didn't make the squad for the next test team. Just shows you the conditions, what they're like in New Zealand, but also, you know, the challenge for him is to come to the subcontinent now, and he's given the ball. You know, he's got to be the lead wicket taker. Can't be the seamers necessarily. There's a bit of pressure on someone like Ajaz Patel to find his length early. Hasn't found it yet. Obviously exceptional talent.
Much better from Ajaz Patel, and as you mentioned, not many bowlers have achieved that feat of getting a 10 for. Only one of the 3 bowlers who've done it at this level. Test match cricket. to do it against India, in India. Just go back to what you were saying right after that test match. He was not picked, of course, playing to the conditions. But also goes on to say or imply something about the whole system brought back home.
That's nice. That's really nice from Ajaz Patel. Settling in here to the left-hander, Hassan. Beautiful length. Great seam presentation. Good rotation through the crease here. Yeah, we'll talk about the consistency of selection of this over.
This is super bowling from Ajaz Patel. Only a single of this one. Bangladesh 23 for no loss.
চাঁদের মতো উজ্জ্বল চেহারা লাক্সের সাথে উজ্জ্বলতার জন্য সেরা সাবান এখন মাত্র 55 টাকায়।
বিকাশ অটোপে থাকলে সময় মতো সেন্ড মানি হয় অটোমেটিক। সেট করুন অটোপে।
Yeah, is the schedule of the New Zealand tour of Bangladesh. The ODI series concluded right before the World Cup. Here we are on with the test match series, 2 tests. This one here at Sylhet and then next one from 6 December to be played at Mirpur Sherbangla National Cricket Stadium. Bathing in it this winter morning. That Mahmoud Sanjoy not quite ready yet. Yes, Grant wanted to elaborate on the system New Zealand cricket has set.
Yeah, well, I think, we spoke about Ajaz Patel not making the squad when he came to New Zealand, and it was, horses for courses. You play on green wickets, offer a lot of seam-friendly conditions. And the secret to New Zealand's success when they won the World Test Championship was winning at home. They found that playing 4 seamers, up-front seamers, was the way to go, preparing really green wickets. So much so that in Hamilton, the outfield was thicker, was cut shorter than the actual pitch. And it's quite confronting for teams when they come to New Zealand, but that means that it negates spin. So someone like Ajaz Patel suddenly misses out, but then the consistency of selection and backing in New Zealand cricket is that when he does come to the subcontinent, he knows that he's, frontline, which is why he's been picked in this test match. Giving him the opportunity, giving him the confidence, and I think that's where selection is so important, is, it can break players, but it can also build players up by backing them for extended periods of time. We've seen that with the English cricket team in test cricket. And New Zealand, from my point of view, when I first started playing, players were picked and dropped all the time. But now there's a lot of consistency in, okay, well, we picked this player, we're going to back him for a long period of time, allow him to get used to test cricket or get used to international cricket so that he can express himself and not have that fear of failure or fear of getting dropped.
Well bowled again, Kyle Jamieson. Bowled well, pointed out, and brilliant. You mentioned the World Test Championship, 19 World Cup finalists. Bowled well, Saudi choosing the ball, then been on the money. Kyle Jamieson against Zakir Hassan. Lost one review though. They've pitched it up, tested the openers, pitched it in the right zones. Have Kyle Jamieson and Tim Saudi. Now Ajaz Patel is operating from the other end. Kyle Jamieson going on from the Dutch Bangla Bank end.
I think the key of that bowling montage was swing. Searching for swing early on, getting the ball full, asking questions. But yes, New Zealand have bowled well, but you've got to say Bangladesh have weathered the storm here. They're looking solid. There haven't been too many opportunities, few play and misses. But I think that doesn't look too uncomfortable for the batters out there. Looks like they're almost settling in. Southey knows that it's still dangerous times for them. He's got the 3 slips in and the gully still attacking.
Trying something different on this occasion. Absolutely. From the over, for the over, as indicated by Ahsan Raza.
You know, one of the amazing things about Carl Jamieson when he came onto the scene was with such a tall person. You look at someone like Morne Morkel, who almost never hit the stumps. Carl Jamieson, he hit the stumps more percentage-wise than Southey and Bolt did. And surprising coming from such a tall bowler. So the ability to be so tall, but to get that length full enough to ask questions and bring LBWs into play.
Not in full control, but finds the gap through gully and finds another boundary. Does Mahmoud Hassan Joy. Boundary will end the over. 27 for no loss.
নতুন সার্ফ এক্সেল এখন মাত্র 135 টাকা। এটি সাধারণ পাউডারের তুলনায় লাগে অর্ধেক, তাই ধোয়া যায় দ্বিগুণ কাপড়।
ওকে দিন পেপসোডেন্ট, যা অদৃশ্য ছোট ছোট গর্তগুলো সারিয়ে তোলে, ক্যাভিটি থেকে দেয় সর্বাধিক সুরক্ষা, যাতে ও আত্মবিশ্বাসী হাসি নিয়ে বেড়ে উঠতে পারে।
They've been patient. Bangladesh, 51 dots. Also goes on to show the respect they had paid to the New Zealand bowlers initially.
Yeah, this was the last ball of the previous over, and you don't mind that. Tim Southey will not mind that. You can see Carl Jamieson, he's thinking that's exactly what I want the batter to do. Joy having a flash outside that off stump, which brings in the 3 slips in the gully into play if he gets it slightly wrong. Good length, line, just throwing your hands at it can be a dangerous place to play as a batter.
Tom! Going for a quick single. Good running between the wickets. Also going back to that boundary. Fortunately for Joy, managed to keep it along the ground. Last moment, just opened the face of the bat. Have to be careful though. As you mentioned, they've weathered the storm. Maybe a bit more time and then get their eye in and set the tone for the test match.
Great line and length there from Ajaz Patel. They've weathered the storm, but I think, you know, there was a bit of swing out there. H.T. Ackerman said it was a little bit humid. Felt that there was going to be swing, and there definitely has been. Bowlers have tried to exploit that in the first 10 overs of the game. Still hangs in the balance. That swing will leave the deliveries as this session goes on. So they want to try and use that. Interesting to see how Southey, I'm sure he'll come on and whether he'll really try and attack, bowl a straighter line.
Easily dealt with by Joy. Still opting for the short leg. Slip in position also. Looking for the first wicket on New Zealand. That's gone through everybody. Had got the better of Joy, but thankfully for him, was not on the stumps and got the better of Tom Blundell on that occasion. It will be by runs for a boundary. 11 done, 32 for no loss.
নেক্সট এডিশন।
নাজিয়ানা, আনিকা।
ম্যাডাম, সিনেমা হিরোর নামই চলে। আপনি চুলে নজর দেন, গরম আর ঘাম চুলের শাইনটা নষ্ট করে ফেলে।
শাইন তো মন খুলেই করব, আমিও আর আমার চুলও। নতুন সানসিল্ক ব্ল্যাক শাইন, এতে আছে আমলা, পার্ল প্রোটিন আর ভিটামিন ই অ্যাক্টিভ মিক্স, যা চুলকে দেয় 24 ঘন্টা পর্যন্ত শাইন। শাইন করব মন খুলে।
Rajo's Patel, he's getting his line, he's getting his length right. Man, his length. This one went through the inside edge. It's beaten everyone. It's just gone through bat and pad. Tom Blundell last second there trying to get the pads together. Too late. It doesn't matter how you get them as a team. Take that forward. He's actually been hit buys now. 2, 3. One just bouncing in front of Tom Blundell.
Has been reduced, now opting for 2 slips. Senegali from Saudi back in action. His 4th over. Now from the rocket end. Now here's the trivia. Last 10, they've gotten just 5 of Bangladesh's last 29 opening partnerships. Without Tamim Iqbal were worth more than 30 runs. This will make it 6 out of the last 30 partnerships. Sure, the way they're approaching it, Maudul Hassan Joy and Zakir Hassan looking to go way higher. Get a good grip over this first session of the first day. Be safe and sorry, making sure no one's behind or beside the side screen.
And already you get that sense that the batters are sort of, they're in, they've got the pace of the pitch. New Zealand have tried to get through them with swing. Jameson's off now, he's had a spell of 5 overs. Southey comes back on, slip, moves out, goes more into a cover catcher. As this game moves on, as the innings move on, they'll have to bowl straighter and straighter when that swing leaves, but Southey knows that there's still that opportunity now. Try and use that swing, it's his weapon.
Oh, that's beautifully bowled. Super bowling from Saudi. Here's the swing on display.
Just trying to have a look there to see if there was a 3/4 seam. That's what Southey does. He goes seam up, yeah, 3/4 seam. Just hits the ropes and leaves the left-hander. That's an incredible delivery. Coming around the wicket, angling it in and just moving it away. Try to get that outside edge. Seen 2 now. To Hassan, where he's just played and missed. 1 to Jameson and 1 to Southey now.
Not right in terms of length on this occasion. Too tall. Zakir Hassan was on top of it and nicely finds the gap.
He's found the length really well there. Managed to transfer his weight back, and Southey just slightly short. Southey's trying to get that length. As a batter, you're not too sure whether to go forward or back to. He found that length when he just missed the outside edge. Bowled with discipline, New Zealand. Haven't been able to find that opportunity, just a little tickle.
Was in the air for a bit, but drops short of the fielder. 12 overs done with Bangladesh. 34 for not.
পারিয়া অ্যাবসেন্ট ম্যাম।
এত বাচ্চা স্কুল আসেনি।
রোগ জীবাণু যেভাবে ছড়িয়ে পড়ছে একজনের থেকে অন্যদের কাছে, কি করে লড়বে ওরা?
রোগ থেকে সুরক্ষিত থাকতে রোগ ছড়ানো ভাইরাসের বিরুদ্ধে লড়তে হবে। এজন্যই লাইফ বয় ভাইরাস ফাইটার, যা ভাইরাসের বিরুদ্ধে লড়াই করে আপনাকে রাখবে সুরক্ষিত। আর সাথে দিবে ফ্রিতে প্রাভা হেলথের ডাক্তারের পরামর্শ। শুধু একটি মিসড কল দিন প্যাকে দেওয়া নম্বরে।
Bangladesh, having elected to bat first, have managed to keep both the openers in here at Sylhet International Cricket Stadium. First session, the first test between Bangladesh and New Zealand. This was the last delivery. Last over. Extra bounce. Now that's a cracking stroke. Cracking shot from Joy for 4 runs.
Well, a shot of real aggression from Joy, over pitch from Ajaz Patel, but he gives himself width, opening that front leg, allowing his arms to just flow through the line of that delivery. This is something that New Zealand really have to worry about, as if they look to be aggressive against Ajaz Patel.
Low. Back foot, quick single taken. Good calling from Zakir Hassan.
The reason why I say that is because Ajaz is almost your banker for Tim Southee, someone that you could just bowl from one end or take the boulders from the other end. Bangladesh gives them an opportunity if they can be aggressive against Ajaz Patel. Or Southee, who will he go to then?
Come on, Jesse.
Sodhi, Glenn Phillips.
Oh, he gets the breakthrough. Does Ajaz Patel? It was sharp turn. Just kept a tad bit low. Gets the wicket of Zakir Hassan.
Gee, this is a beauty. Absolute beauty. Right line, right length. Revolutions on the ball. Zakir Hassan going back to it. Maybe in hindsight he thinks should have gone forward. The top of off stump. And New Zealand get there first through Ajaz Patel, brilliantly bowled. Zakir Hassan has to go for 12. It's 39 for 1. It's time for a drink.
নতুন সার্ফ এক্সেল এখন মাত্র 135 টাকা। এটি সাধারণ পাউডারের তুলনায় লাগে অর্ধেক, তাই ধোয়া যায় দ্বিগুণ কাপড়।
মাল্টিভিটামিন সিরাম যুক্ত এখন নতুন ও আরো উন্নত গ্লো এন্ড লাভলি। পাও 40% বেশি উজ্জ্বলতা। গ্লো এন্ড লাভলি।
And it's time for a little bit of rest in the middle for the players.
hours play done, and in that hour, first hour of this first test match, this is what transpired. Two batters coming in after the skipper won the toss, decided to bat. Hassan Joy and Zakir Hassan opening things up. Not a very comfortable situation early on with that inside edge saving him, but some opportunities to put the balls away with shots like that on the offside from the right-hander. Also, it's not as soon as Ajaz came back in, he's always looking dangerous, and that managed to just go past the defenses of Zakir Hassan and got the off stump. So that's the situation at the moment after an hour's play on the first day. 39 for 1. Excellent bowling by the two pacers, Tim Southee and Kyle Jamieson, and good work from the spinner on view. Already spin taking effect. Brings in the skipper, Najmul Hussain Shanto. A lot of responsibility on him. Just 25 years old, into his 24th match. Needs to batten down. Quickly trying to drive that ball. He's in the middle because of this. Look at the turn in that, H.D. Ackerman.
I think he's just trying to get this a little bit too square as well. He might have felt that he could have got forward to that instead of back. But I think when trying to cut the left arm spinner over the wicket, he's bowling it into whatever little rough there may be, but there's normally plenty of turn from outside the off stump. Might be just trying to get this a bit too square. Better off trying to hit that past mid-off's right hand.
I think the first thing you mentioned, it didn't read the length also. That was the initial problem with that stroke. So that is another over completed. It's 39 for 1. We are at the picturesque Sylhet International Cricket Stadium. Lovely ground. Test match back here after a while. Only the second one played here. Wonderful weather. Bangladesh in a spot of bother, losing an early wicket. Southee and Kyle Jamieson bowling well. Just someone always seems to pick the wrong time to walk in front of the side screens. Bowler won't like that.
It wouldn't be a cricket match if someone didn't walk in front of a side screen. Tony Hemming, the new curator here in Bangladesh, being brought in by the BCB to try and help with the surfaces.
Well, he's been here only for about 10 days. I had a chance to chat to him earlier on. Try to fine-tune. You can hardly do anything. Any major changes in the wicket. Got to just give the coach and the others what they want. Obviously, the local team will want to have that little bit of advantage. So Tony Hemming doing that bit, and I'm sure he's here for a couple of years. He's going to go a long way in improving the conditions of pitches in Bangladesh. A lot has been talked about it. We've seen that little tinge of grass earlier on, a little different from the past. Seen the bounce and carry, haven't you, so far?
He's got plenty of experience. He's done a lot of work in Australia at Optus Stadium, the new stadium that's, I hate to say it, it pains me to say it, but it's replaced the WACA as the International Cricket Stadium in Perth. The WACA is still used, but been some iconic games played at that ground. But the Optus Stadium is a beautiful ground, and he's done a lot of work there. Consulted at the WACA as well, Tony Hemming. So Bangladesh lucky to have him.
This is what he's got to do now. The batters have got to bide their time with that fall of early wicket. Feel that they've got to be pretty watchful, not chase anything. This is Ajaz bowling for Sun. Look at the lengths that he's bowling at. Just the short one, it's good if you're going back. But once in a while, if he just pitches it a little further up, that's when the confusion comes in.
been pretty consistent, and that's the one eventually that got through his defenses. Very, very good bowling, very accurate, penetrative bowling by Ejaz.
Looked as though he was persisting with that length, because on numerous occasions during the spell that Ejaz bowled to Zakir Hassan, he did play back a number of times to balls that he probably could have played forward too. So Ejaz just sticking with that length and eventually getting one through the defences.
The reading of the approach of the batter is so very important for a bowler. He did that to a nicety. Realization of the fact that despite the balls being sort of good lengthish, the batter was still going back, took advantage of that. And the double-pronged sort of pressure continues with some fiery pace bowling by Tim Southee, hardly giving anything to the batters to work with, keeping them quiet, building up the pressure. And this is what Bangladesh have got, this period they've got to ride through, show some resilience, show some patience, and of course ball selection for the balls to be hit. Not often that they play the longer version. A lot of the players will be coming in from the World Cup from a different format, so transition a little tough. Oh dear, almost went to hand initially and then tried to throw, almost hit the batter.
Pushes that one, that's not quite a half volley. Southee feeling as though he needs to remind Joy that he needs to get back. We've seen all sorts of dismissals over the last couple of years, from times out to mancads, and why not throw that one in?
I've been cheeky, HD. Nicely behind that. Too straight, too good a shot. Didn't get him any runs of the last ball of that over. It's 40-1.
হরলিক্স এর ভাইটাল নিউট্রিয়েন্টস বাচ্চাদের মনোযোগ ধরে রাখতে সহায়তা করে। এক্সাম নক নক হরলিক্স ডব ডব।
First test match of two in this New Zealand tour. The second part of the tour. The first part started with the one-day internationals prior to the World Cup. New Zealand convincingly won 2-0, one being washed out. Now also asserting their authority in the longer version. Oh, uses his speed, gets underneath that one, it's way over the top. That's got a bold strike and it's gone for the maximum. He's not going to hang about. If there's an opportunity, he's going to take advantage of that.
Yeah, why not? The left arm spinner with the ball spinning back into the left-hander. This is a safe stroke. Mid-on is up, saving one, as long as he gets to the pitch of it. Even if he doesn't quite get to the pitch of that, he can pull it around towards deep mid-wicket. It's a nice stroke. It's a nice sign of intent from the skipper.
Given the bowler something to think about, maybe forcing him to just err from his comfort zone. But with the experience that Ejaz Patel has, he won't be too flustered with that shot over the top. Continue in his disciplined manner. Once again now, getting a little carried away. He's getting the results, but this is the test match, and got to be wary of the situation.
There's a little bit of concern in your voice there. I love it. I think it's a great play. Day one, you know that the ball's going to turn more and more as the test match progresses. But give New Zealand something to think about early on here. While the fielders are up, saving one, you now got mid-on who's slightly deeper, which allows Shanta the opportunity to just knock it down the ground for a single.
50 has come up. Tries to cut that now. Once again, not the right shot. Go with that kind of delivery. Got away with it. Could have got an edge.
Not only an edge, you can chuck this on over the wicket. There's some turn from outside the off stump.
Outside edge. That was a good delivery. Once again, pushed him back. Cannot try to be overly attacking, particularly in this format of the game. New Zealand, those are his numbers. Wants to improve of that. 4 matches, 164. Solidly behind that. 50 for 1. Pippa, his performances against various teams. See in the middle, this is New Zealand. 7 innings is garnered 154 runs, just an average of over 25. Must improve that. Keeps on bowling that lovely channel, does him Saudi.
Those statistics of Shanto's are interesting because it's really been, let's go, prior to the World Cup, where he was exceptional for Bangladesh, particularly in all forms of the game, really. And I think there's been a lot made out of Bangladesh's performances in that World Cup, and it might have something to do with the fact that he lost his form a little bit because it was so good before that. He'll want to find it now, the red ball game.
And also converting back to the red ball game is something that they don't have enough opportunity. Too many white ball games around with the T20 format and the ODI format. We're talking about both the teams playing test matches after quite a while. I'm sure Rajneesh is going to just remind me of how many months they haven't played, both the teams. So it will take a bit of time to just adjust yourself to the truer form of the game, which I always say is the more artistic and the more testing form. And this is where you've got to show your mental resilience alongside your skill sets. Crowd's coming in slowly. Couple of slips in position and the gully rather wide. Essentially trying to shake the ball away from the right-hander. A bit of a nick, nothing behind. Once they get through that gap, runs to be had.
And posted on the deep square leg boundary as well. Southey doesn't bowl many short balls, but fielder is often placed out there just to take the front foot of the batter away. Back of his mind, he's thinking, is there a short ball? Isn't there a short ball? And if you don't move your feet quite so well, Southey gets one to swing. Outside edge can be found.
That's the short ball you're talking about. It had to come sooner than later, particularly with that deep backward square in position. Tempt the batter to go for a hook shot or a pull shot.
Played it nicely. Just gets underneath it.
Just going back to the point I was making about these teams playing test match. 5 months for Bangladesh since they last played their test. 8 months, would you believe, for New Zealand played a test match. So back into the rhythm. Work cut out, but the New Zealand team more adept with that. We'll come back to that. It's still 50 for 1.
বিকাশে ফিরলেই 100 টাকা ক্যাশব্যাক। আপনি কি এপ্রিল 2023 পর বিকাশে কোনো লেনদেন করেননি? তাহলে এখনই ফিরে এসে মোবাইল রিচার্জ করুন, 100 টাকা পর্যন্ত ক্যাশব্যাক জিতুন।
সাশ্রয়ী দামে 2 গুণ উজ্জ্বলতা। রিন অ্যাডভান্সডের 2 কেজি প্যাকে এখন 40 টাকা ছাড়। এছাড়াও 550 গ্রাম প্যাকে বাঁচলো 9 টাকা এবং 1100 গ্রাম প্যাকে বাঁচলো 18 টাকা।
Still persisting, still accurate bowling, keeping it tight. Saw some couple of belligerent shots from the skipper. Take the tag back. Improves the run rate ever so slightly. That won't be of concern.
Fascinating over here. Saw in the previous one, Hunter happy to go down the wicket. He went over the top both on leg side and offside. Our fielders are a little bit deeper, but there's still those catches in there, the short leg, the short mid-wicket. Go about his work here.
I feel there's a little push into the deep for a single. I just feel that Tim Saudi could have tempted I want to send Shanto to try and go for those shots again, but once he pushes the fielders a little deeper, tell Shanto, right, it's not worth a risk because they are in a position, if I mistime it, to take a catch. But now the left-right combination brings a change of angles for the bowler. Backs away, finds the fielder. Looked decent enough as Hassan Joy. 19 so far. His picked his shots well, defended the good deliveries. Watching the field constantly. There's a forward short leg and a slip. Catches in position. Kind of a slap shot. Wasn't very, very good to look at.
Not as much, I should say, spin for the right-hander as what we have seen for the left-hander when Ajaz bowls over the wicket. The ball generally going straight on with the arm.
Oh, hard to reach for that. That's the one that's kept on holding its line, inducing the inside edge. It's going to be the problem. Another one just past the outside edge this time. It's all happening. 51 for 1. Looking very pensive, worried about what the team is going to do. Royal Bengal Tiger, advantage position. Changed bowling, Ish Sodhi coming in, 31 years old. Leg break bowler from the rocket hand. Now he's seen some turn from Ajaz Patel and he'll fancy his chances. You'd expect a wrist spinner to get more punches off the track. Seen turn very early on the first day. As he's got a slip in position, a forward short leg for the left-handed batter. Look at the offside. There's a deep squarish third man cover. And the long off is just warming up. And field on the onside. That forward short leg, fine leg just on that imaginary 30-yard circle. A deep mid-wicket and a wide-ish mid-on. Also, fielder taking a position at orthodox mid-wicket. up and allows the batter to smother the spin and push it away for a single.
Shankar's able to do that because of the intent that he showed against the left-arm orthodox. Going down the wicket, hitting back over his head twice. Now New Zealand happy to drop the mid-on when he's on strike. Able to just, with the spin, nudge it up the ground for a single.
Sodhi is going to try and give the ball some air early on. There will be one or two that is going to try and push through, but more often than not, you will see more of this, giving the ball some air, allowing it to get a purchase and get that turn created by the fielders around. This is where you've got to read the length so very well. Surprise you with the bounce also. The tall bowler can get that little bit of extra nip off the track.
Touring the subcontinent, you would think that the opposition that you're going to play against will have seen a lot of leg spin, but it's something that Bangladesh do not produce a lot of, the old wrist spinners.
Actually none, HD. That is one area they've got to really work on, and work on very quickly. Talked to Rangana Herat at one point in time about the need for getting leg spinners, and we're talking about leg spinner hunt, like a pacer hunt. We need to encourage youngsters around the country to try and make this art a regular thing. Look at that.